Hello, Math 111 teachers out there. I'm going to give you an orientation to getting an XYZ. So you should have gotten an email message from XYZ that said your login name for xyzhomework.com is your BMCC email address, and your initial password is the word password, all lowercase. And so you can get in there by typing your email address. Yours is probably first initial last name, and then password if this is your first time going in. Now from here, what you want to do, what I'd recommend doing, is creating a new course. And then you can copy over. I made a course called the Math 111 College Algebra Master. So you can then copy that one. So you're going to go into admin, and yours is going to look a little different than mine, and you're going to click add new course. And in here, you'll give it a name. You can go change that later if you'd like. So maybe this is going to be College Algebra 10 a.m. perhaps. For new items that you create, this will be the time they appear. So you can set that to whatever you want. I usually do something like 1 a.m. And all these others aren't really a big deal. Late pass means that if you have an assignment that has a due date and you don't want to deal with students saying, hey, I need another day to get that done, you can give them late passes ahead of time, and they can apply a late pass to give themselves an extra day on any particular assignment that the late pass is recognized on, which you also have control over. And we're going to start with a blank course. So we have to create a new blank course. It'll give an ID. Students will need that ID later to log in. Then we enter the course. Now from this blank course, what you want to do is copy course items. So in the main navigation bar on the left, course items, we'll choose copy. And then here you can go to My Group's Courses, and you will look up my name. Since I'm logged in as myself, I'm not going to be in this list. So you'll find Gary Parker, and under Gary Parker you'll see all his courses, and you'll select Math 111 College Algebra Master. And then you'll select Copy Course Items, and you want to copy the whole course. I don't have any offline grade items in there, so don't worry about that, and you just click Copy. And now you have the course I created. So what did I create? So in here I have, on line number 1, a sample syllabus. So you can use this syllabus and tweak it, or you can use your own. Some things in here that are important are the method of evaluation. Yours shouldn't be too much different from this one right here. Homework should be approximately 25% or less. Final exam should be 25% or more. And then the testing, let's see. No, that's a lie. Oh yeah, the final exam should be 25% or more, and then you can control how much you want tests and quizzes to be depending on homework and final exam. And I'll have an email to you that says something similar. Otherwise, you can change your policies however you want. I also included a printable course calendar here to pop that up. And so here it would be a 5-day-week course. This is how I would intend to teach the class. Chapters 1 and 2 are optional. For now, I'm going to give them a try. So it's basically a review of Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So in 3 days, I'm going to hit the main points, and I'm going to give them a prerequisite exam, and then review that to go over their strengths and weaknesses with them, things that they need to improve upon during the quarter. And then we started, and the course really starts with Chapter 3, and we're going to run through most of Chapter 7. I plan to give 3 exams. I don't like giving an exam and then the final within a week of each other. And so a good part of the final exam includes Chapter 7 along with the other chapters. So let's collapse the syllabus section. XYZ comes with a calendar app, which is pretty nice. It's showing the first 4 weeks, starting with this week. And I'm going to expand that to show more weeks. Let's go actually 14 weeks. All right. So things are color coded. So the yellow things are comments that. So if you click on one of those, then what will happen is in just below the calendar, you have a little box here that shows what it is I have. So sorry, that's not. Oh, there's something missing here. It shows the due dates, but not the calendar messages. We'll have to go back and explore why not. Alright, that's weird. It didn't copy over. Alright, so what I'm missing, and I'll show you, is in a calendar you can have events. An event really is just a message. And so, for example, I might put a message on the calendar for the 29th of September, indicating on that day we are going to review Chapter 1. That's what it says. Chapter 1. Oops, I can't edit that event. There we go. Changes. And so these blue things should be in here saying that what we're going to do is review Chapter 1. And I'll have to adjust that. And I had messages for what we were covering on every day, but they didn't copy over. I will get back to you on why that didn't work. Anyway, so the calendar again shows when things are posted, when students can start working on them, and it'll also show deadlines when they're done working on them. And those are all in here. And you have control over changing any of those deadlines. I'll show that in a minute. I have a review section here if you choose to do it. In the review section is the material for Chapter 1. Each one of these right here, the links, leads to a homework assignment the students could work on. Now, since Chapters 1 and 2 are optional, those particular assignments are not going to be included in the gradebook. Now, you can change that for any one of these by going to their settings. So what I have here for Chapters 1 and 2 is I created a practice exam that the students can play with. That can be in the gradebook if you wish. So that's what I would assign as the homework. If they have trouble with the practice exam, they could go and jump in and do more specific work on each section. And that's review. There's a forum here that they can ask questions on, and they can answer each other, or you can answer them. Same thing in Chapter 2. I set up a practice exam that I would assign as the homework that they should do. So day 1, they would do the Chapter 1 practice exam homework. Day 2, they would do the Chapter 2. If they need more practice on anything, they can go into a section heading to do so. The links below the section heading are videos that the author created.
In this section, we're going to talk about 2 different types of.
And some of the videos are student tutors doing them, and some are the textbook author. Depends on the video. And then let's collapse the review stuff, which contains Chapters 1 and 2. We have a prerequisite exam, so I made that its own section here. And this I'm going to have as their first major grade. It's not going to be worth as much as a test. I think I have this set to be worth 40 points. And that's to make sure they know the basics, just to get it back into their head. These are things they need to know how to do. If you don't want to do that, then just start off in Chapter 3. Chapter 3 has a homework assignment for each unit here and a video that goes along with it. Typically, when you get into the homework, there will be links to the ebook. There's a little pop-up window. And the ebook is either available from those links there or through mathtv.com. Another way you can get to them. And once you get an account with XYZ, that gives you access to xyzhomework.com, xyztextbooks.com, and mathtv.com. They're all one and the same company. And it's a pretty good homework system. As far as graphing goes, students can plot points, they can plot lines, they can do parabolas, circles, they can do exponentials, but that's kind of the limit of the things that they can plot. So in polynomials, the online homework's lacking in terms of what students can graph online, so you'll have to do some more paperwork there. When you're in a particular section, you'll have breadcrumbs at the top here, and you can jump back to your course through those breadcrumbs. So the way I have it set up again is there's a review unit and a prerequisite exam to go with it. I've bunched chapters 3 and 4 together and made a unit exam for that, both practice and a regular exam. Chapter 5, polynomials, I have as its own unit. Chapter 3, exponentials and logarithms, is its own unit. And chapter 7, systems of equations, which is really matrices, I have its own unit here. And here I decided to just do a practice exam, not a real exam, because I didn't want to have 2 exams in a row at the end of the quarter. There's a practice final and there's a regular final. Now these links right here are all to online tests that the students can log into. The practice exams they can get into on their own. Any other exam, they'll have to enter a password. Now since I'm the owner, it didn't ask me for the password. If I was a student, it would. Okay, so that's the basics of the way I set up the course here. You can always add things. For example, I could add a text message, I could add a link to something, I could put a new forum in, a wiki that students can play with, or if I want to put a whole bunch of things together, like for example, all this stuff, that's called a block. So I could always insert a block and put a bunch of things in it. Like for example, the final and the sample final, I could put in a single block instead of 2 blocks like I have now. And you can always put a new calendar somewhere else. To put something in, you just click it. Say, here's my new item, whatever you want to call it. Write whatever you want about it. You could choose to attach files here. And then once you're done with that, then you can have it show on a particular date, show all the time, hide all the time if it's just for you to look at, and then you create it. Once it's created and in there, since I did it at the end, it's going to be at the end, but I could always move it. Like maybe I want this to be the second item that the students see, and so it just drops it in here. Pull that out. Other things you're going to find useful, the roster. Let's see, yes, I'm sure I'll delete. If you use forums, you can go into forums, and then you can go into a particular one and see if students are writing anything, or you can write stuff and tell the students to take a look there. Roster. Once your students start logging in based on the course ID you give them, you'll see them in here. And various things you can do administratively with them. Calendar, just use the calendar as opposed to showing the calendar with the rest of the course, and you can see when things are due or appear. Gradebook, again, when students are in, you'll see more stuff there. Let's go to Gradebook settings here. This is an important place. Here I have it set up to match my syllabus. So I have homework and quizzes. I put at 20 here, but it should be 25. Final exam I had as 25, and that leaves 50% for the quizzes and exams to split. So let's see, I have 3 exams, and let's say I wanted them to count as 12, about 12% each, which should be 36. And we have quizzes. If I do any quizzes, maybe I want those to count for the 1%. So there's my 100%. And so it'll automatically give you a weighted average in the grade book. And you can adjust that as necessary for your course. So what I encourage you to do is just play around with the site. If you have any questions, give me a call or send me an email and I'll help you out with it. If you want to adjust any due dates, the easiest way to do that is to go to the mass change section and choose dates. And that lays out everything that can be due. And then you can go in and change when things appear, start date, and when students stop having access to them. The review date means that, for example, if I have, for example, Chapter 1 practice exam is due on October 2nd, review date October 18th means the students will be able to see it and go back and look at it, but not do anything for a grade with it. So there's a lot of things I just, like for example, 1-1 homework, 1-2 homework, I have as review for the rest of the quarter. So students have to finish it for me by 10/3, but they have the rest of the quarter. Other instructors like to have each section's homework due when the test is due, and then it closes then. So that's your choice when you want the homework to be due. And you can adjust all that in here. So you get, again, everything that was assigned or created that could be graded is in here. And once you change a date, you have to hit Save Changes here at the bottom to finish it off. So mass change is pretty important. If you already started working on a course but you want to use some of the stuff I have here, you can always choose to copy. And you can do selected course items. Copy course items, yes. So let's see, you have one of your own courses. Copy select course items. Okay, instead of copying the whole course like I did initially, you could just pick specific things to copy. So you can say, well, this other course I want to grab this exam or that assignment. You can select whatever you wish, choose what parts of it you want to copy, and then select copy items. And they'll appear in the course that you're currently in. So you can swap things back and forth from courses, which is really nice. And not only that, you can use your courses or anybody's courses that ever created something in XYZ, whether they're in your group or not. Cool. All right, I think that's it for now. Oh, another thing here, as far as views go, where we're looking at the instructor view, if you go to the student view, things will look a little bit different. Default here, I believe, is usually 4 weeks in the calendar. This bar right here again shows whatever was clicked on in the calendar. So things look a little different for students. When I point to something, I don't get the extra options on the side. I just get the option. Let's see, for some reason checker file is not visible. I'll fix that. Alright, so for some, alright, so here I can click and do the homework, I can click on the video, but I don't have the options to edit anything. Whereas on the instructor view, when I point to some area, I have the option to see the questions that were chosen for that, to see settings, delete it, copy it, or view grades for it. Okay, that's it for now. I'll probably do another one soon. Give me a call or email if you have any questions. We can set up a webinar, or I can come to your campus and help you out. Bye-bye.